we are dialing in some bass sounds with the XFX3. This is the man himself, Rafferty from Ragdoll. And yeah, we've basically just been playing around with a few different bass sounds that we're dialing in anticipation for recording bass for the new album, Music Man Stingray, and we're using the Axe 3, and we've got a couple of different sounds, but most importantly, we've been able to make a tone match of this Sansamp bass driver. Like, you are Sansamp, hey?
I love Sansamp. Yeah, I've had nothing but great experiences with Sansamp. It's a big part of how I get that sound that I enjoy and the sound that so many people ask me about.
So with that in mind, we don't know which one is and isn't the Sansamp, just like play. That's pretty close. That's using, we've used the Dark Glass B7K model and just done a tone match. And it pretty much sounds the same, which is awesome. I'm pretty happy with that. So that's the Sansamp, which is good to sort of capture that thing in the box. And we'll be able to design a preset using that and then my guitar sound at the same time, and we can both play through it. And anyway, on to the really fun stuff. This was the first sound we dialed in for the new Ragdoll stuff. It's essentially a blend of a clean DI with compression, and then it's the SVT model with the dark glass on it. So do you think, man? That's pretty good, and then we did a variation on that using the Sansamp match in the same preset, so I think that is this one. And we've got some like an octave up and a fifth. And then on this one we've got a wah. That's wicked. So yeah, there we go. There's what we've dialed in for the new Ragdoll stuff, and also at the same time, I just need to find this. It's really, really easy. I wanted to test out just the DI capability. So this is the tube pre and the optical compressor, basically for just a clean bass sound. Do you want to play some Motown?
It's like every Motown, isn't it?
Yeah, that's wicked. So that's the Axe FX3 for bass. And the other thing as well, if you're using, whether you're using a passive bass or an active bass, it's going to interact with like the tone controls. They still do their job. Like, can you make that woolier?
Yeah, I can make it. You mean woolier as in more woolly sounding?
Yeah, and the compressor's not doing too much, but it's just adding a bit of sheen. So this is without it. It's obviously a little bit louder there, but it's just kind of smoothing stuff out. So kind of doing what you do with like an LA2A in the studio or something. But I want to hear that disgusting bass sound again. And that's disgusting in the best way possible. Where is it? Yeah.
So one thing that you did here that was, to me it was a new concept, was that you could, once you've taken the sound from this and actually put it in,
Yeah.
you can then, after this is, you've gotten rid of it, you can then call this back up after the fact. So in retrospect, you can.
Of course, it's
you
like
can
we
add
can
that sound to whatever we.
Which is, it's like basically cloning it or tone matching it, which I did with the Marshall the other day as well.
Yeah.
Um,
So all these videos you've been doing, and how you're talking about how you tone match things, it's only just sank in what you're actually doing.
yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the magic of it.
I'm learning.
Yeah, I mean, even if we just turn your SansAmp off and we go to the SansAmp preset, it's going to sound like SansAmp. There it is off.
Yeah.
There it is on. There's the axe effects.
Ah, I see what you've done. So you're basically A-Bing those two signals.
Yeah,
there.
so there's SansAmp on, yep.
Yeah. Oh, what a time saver.
Yeah, there you go. It's in there. You've got your preset. Mate, now you just need presets for vocals. You just stand there and... Yeah, that's pretty cool. What I want to do, actually...
Is get one of these things where you can record yourself playing bass licks, and then we can just call it up while I'm playing.
What we're going to do next is I'm going to put all of this into one preset and we'll just play through a little part of the song for you guys, so that'll be pretty cool. Okay, so we've taken that first really dirty bass preset. I've added basically the preset that I was using with the Bogner Überschall and an IR that I made, and this is what it sounds like together. A one, a two, a one,
You know what
two,
to
three,
do.
four. That's the idea anyway, so you can hear that the bass, to me, it's like the guitar is like the meat and the bass is the bread all around it. It sort of fills up all the frequencies that the guitar is not taking care of, because the guitar is quite sort of focused and the bass is just monstrous. Yeah, especially when you play really, like, if we both play sort of the chuggy stuff really hard, it sounds really cool. No, it's cool. That's something that I like about, you know, playing with someone who uses bass distortion, because if they tighten it right up, it's not necessarily super distorted anymore, but then when you really just go nuts, it adds so much grind.
And a lot of the time you don't hear it unless you're listening for it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
It just
sound
sounds
guys, they always notice it.
Yeah.
They're quick to point
That
out
guy
that
that's
you're
like,
using too much.
oh, SansAmp, so it's just going to be distortion. No, turn it off. And you're like, I actually don't play with that much distortion.
Yeah, it sounds distorted because there's lots of that high frequency, and when it's the only thing that you're hearing, you know, like say when you go to a solo or something like that, suddenly the bass is very exposed. It's nice having those frequencies in there because it fills it out.
That's the other thing that we did actually, was adding a gate to the distorted part of the signal, which I can turn on and off so that we can hear it, which is pretty interesting. Where's your gate? There's your gate. So there's a section of this song which just played that on bass. There's just that little bit of noise in there that when you're playing the ga-ga-ga,
Yeah.
it makes the transients sound longer than they're meant to be. So if you add the gate, it takes it out and it just 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually need to add a little bit of gating to my guitar, I think, for that section, which I can do in the input block. Where's the threshold? Probably want to increase the ratio a little bit, take it to about 3. And the threshold. Let's try it now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how you get the gents. So yeah, there you go. Axe FX3 for bass with Ryan Rafferty. I'm going to put all these presets online, so if you want to sound like Ryan, and yeah, maybe they'll make a processor which will make my voice sound like your voice, and we can just tone match it. Imagine that.
Mate,
Imagine like a convincing, yeah. You can just eat the backstage platter.
Yeah. No, I'd still come.
Just,
Yeah.
you could just play bass.
That would be fun for a little bit. It'd be really
For a
good.
little bit.
Yeah, no, it would.
Well, then we'll just program your bass licks.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, check out the Axe FX3, check out Ragdoll. I'll put all the links to the music there. Yeah, help support the channel and, you know, buy our music, because no one else will. See you around.
Thanks for having me. See you again soon.